Ever wondered why the bad boy always gets the girl? Let's explore this enigma. In the depths of human nature, there's a certain allure to the dark side. This attraction is particularly pronounced when examining the paradox of toxic masculinity. Yes, you heard it right, toxic masculinity. It's a term that's been thrown around a lot lately, but what exactly does it mean? In essence, toxic masculinity refers to traditional cultural masculine norms that can be harmful to society and to men themselves. It's a cocktail of attitudes, behaviors, and expectations that society often places on the shoulders of men. To be tough, to be strong, to be unemotional, to be dominant, these are the hallmarks of what we call toxic masculinity. But here's the twist. Despite its negative connotations, these very traits can be wildly attractive to women. Why, you might ask? The answer, as with most things in life, is not black and white. The allure of the dark side is deeply intertwined with societal norms and expectations. From a young age, we're fed tales of brave knights and fearless warriors, of strong men who conquer adversity without shedding a tear. These stories shape our perceptions of what is attractive, of what is desirable. But it's not just about societal influence. There's also a biological aspect at play. Studies show that some women are naturally attracted to dominant men, to men who display confidence and power. It's a primal instinct, a relic from our ancestral past. It's a complex issue, but we're here to dissect it. Let's start with our first trait, Stoicism. Stoicism, the art of emotional restraint, a trait often misunderstood yet powerfully attractive. Think of Stoicism as a fortress, a stronghold, a wall erected not to keep others out, but to keep oneself in. It's a state of mind where emotions are not suppressed, but rather controlled and refined. It's about mastery over the self, a sign of strength and resilience in a man. But why is Stoicism so alluring? Well, imagine a stoic character from a popular film or novel. Let's take James Bond, for instance. Bond, the epitome of a stoic man, is always in control, never revealing his emotions unless necessary. It's not that he doesn't feel, rather he chooses when and where to display his feelings. This control, this mastery over his emotions, adds to his enigmatic charm, making him irresistibly attractive. However, it's important to note that Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about understanding your emotions, managing them, and not letting them control you. It's about being the eye of the storm, calm and composed, while everything around you might be in chaos. This emotional resilience is what gives a stoic man his strength. The allure of the stoic man lies in his mystery, his emotional strength, and his ability to stay composed under pressure. Women find these attributes wildly attractive. The stoic man knows that showing vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to his strength. He understands that emotions are not enemies, but allies, and he masters the art of emotional balance, not suppression. Enjoying the video so far? We hope the insights on the allure of the stoic man and the dominant beast have captivated your interest. But we've got more in store for you. If you're finding this content valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This way, you'll always be in the loop for our latest content, exploring the fascinating dynamics of human nature. We appreciate your support as it helps us create more of the content you love. So go ahead, subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's move on, shall we? Moving on to our second trait, aggression and dominance. Aggression, dominance, traits that are frowned upon, yet inexplicably attractive. Why is that so? Let's delve into the animal kingdom for a moment. Picture a lion, the king of the jungle, his dominance over his pride. This is not a beast to be trifled with. This is a ruler, a leader, an alpha. Now let's bring it back to the human realm. Aggression and dominance in men are often seen as a sign of assertiveness, a symbol of power. It's a primal instinct, a throwback to our ancestors who had to be aggressive to survive, to protect their families, to secure food and resources. Take, for instance, the story of Mark, a man who was never afraid to take charge, to make his voice heard. He was the one who'd step up when there was a conflict, the one who'd take the lead when direction was needed. His friends respected him, his colleagues admired him, and yes, women found him wildly attractive. In bed, women like dominant, aggressive men rip her clothes off, take all of her in your mouth, pin her down and take charge. This makes her want you more and you tend to be unforgettable. But remember, there's a fine line between being assertively dominant and being overbearing. It's like a dance, knowing when to lead and when to follow, when to be firm and when to be gentle. Aggression and dominance, a double-edged sword indeed. Let's not forget our final trait, sticking to traditional rules. In an era of progressive values, why does sticking to traditional rules still hold an allure? It's a question that might baffle some, but the answer is simpler than you think. Tradition, in essence, is a beacon of consistency in a world that's constantly changing. It's the assurance that some things, some values, remain the same no matter how much else shifts. Imagine a man who always insists on paying for his partner's meal. It's an old-fashioned notion, sure, but it's also a gesture that communicates a certain level of respect, a willingness to provide, and an understanding of the importance of small acts of kindness. This isn't about asserting dominance or belittling independence. It's about showing appreciation in a way that's tangible and real. Picture this. James, a man of modest means, always makes it a point to split the bill when out with friends. But when he's with his significant other, he insists on footing the bill. It's not about the money, it's about the principle. He sees it as his way of showing that he values the time they spend together. But let's not forget, tradition isn't for everyone. Some might see this as archaic, a sign of a patriarchal society, and that's okay. But for others, it's a sign of reliability and safety, a comforting familiarity in the chaos of the modern world. Traditionalism, a comfort zone for many, a turnoff for some. Let's wrap this up. So, we've explored these three traits: Stoicism, aggression, and traditionalism. But what does this all mean? Let's take a step back and summarize what we've delved into. We looked at Stoicism, a trait that encourages men to keep their emotions at bay, to be the calm in the storm. It's a trait that can be attractive because it exudes a sense of control and stability. But like anything, when taken to excess, it can become toxic, leading to emotional suppression and poor communication. Then we moved on to aggression, not the destructive, harmful kind, but the kind that speaks of assertiveness, of taking charge. It's the trait that pushes men to rip off metaphorical barriers, to stride confidently in their careers, and to be the dominant force in their relationships. Yet again, when unchecked, it can lead to domineering behaviors and disrespect for others' autonomy. And finally, we touched on traditionalism, the belief in sticking to time-honored roles and responsibilities. It's attractive because it signifies a sense of responsibility, a willingness to provide and protect. Yet in excess, it can limit individuality and perpetuate harmful gender stereotypes. Recognizing the potential for toxicity doesn't mean we demonize masculinity. It means we acknowledge the potential pitfalls and work towards a version of masculinity that respects and values others, that allows for emotional expression, assertiveness without dominance, and tradition without restriction. In the end, it's about balance and understanding. Toxic masculinity doesn't have to be toxic if channeled right. Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration. Stay tuned for more such insightful discussions. Until next time, stay soulfully synergized.